Welcome to another episode of the What's Next podcast. This week, you get to hear from Deanna from Moustache, Milk and Cookie Bar. Some of you out there would have tried these delicious cookies, and some of you would have gone back for seconds, thirds, fourth, fifth, sixth, evens, 8, 9, 10. How far can we count? They are irresistible, and Deanna has an amazing story about her growth of Moustache and how it all started, including at the age of 8, wanting to have her own cookie store. So sit back and enjoy this one. We're still amongst the lockdown period, and of course Moustache has not been immune to that, excuse the pun, and has faced some severe challenges having to be closed down. But she's seen a huge uptake on orders through online, so I think there'll be a lot to learn for people that are trading in a similar environment. We hope you get something out of this. We'll keep bringing these to you. Enjoy.
We've tracked down Deanna from Moustache. I think to start with, give us a bit of it, for those that don't know you, which would probably only be about no one in the world, give us a bit of a background on Moustache and how it all came about.
Moustache started when I was 21. We opened, but actually it was a dream of mine since I was 8. So when I was 8, I actually wrote on, I had a piece of paper that I wrote on that was like my bucket list. And number 1, it said to have a racing car bed. And number 2 was to have my own cookie shop. So that's kind of where the dream started. And yeah, now I have my own cookie shop, which is pretty cool.
All right. I think you've got a bit more than that too. I didn't know that. How important do you think it is to have those dreams? And is it bizarre, talking that through to people that don't really understand how that can happen?
Well, I mean, to be honest, when I was 8, I did not think, I actually don't have a racing car bed. Yeah. So I haven't achieved that yet. I didn't think that I would actually have a cookie shop. It was just, when you're a kid and you come up with crazy ideas. Yeah. I don't know how important it is for you to, at such a young age, know what you're going to do. But I actually didn't know that I wanted to do the cookie shop thing until I was halfway through uni, and I wasn't enjoying it. And I was like, I don't want to do this for my whole career, for my whole life. And I looked at that list and I was like, okay, I'm just going to open a cookie shop like I wanted to when I was 8 years old.
All right. That's a magic story. And then fast forward a little while now, and then obviously now you've got staff, you've got a retail presence across the country, and also online sales, and then everything's going pretty well. And then all of a sudden, bang, we closed the country down. So how's that been for you?
Yeah, nobody obviously could have foreseen something as gargantuan as this pandemic. I remember the day we were I had just opened a new store in Manukau, and we hadn't even really got the wheels going. And then and so it was really, we've got, over 20 staff, and all their live.
Bugger, I think we've just got a bit of a glitch in the internet there. Oh, we'll try and get Deanna back. It's the joys of technology. As much as we love it, can be pretty tough at the same time when the internet speed isn't going as fast as how often our brains work.
Cool.
Oh, you back?
I'm back.
Oh, cool. You're back. Sweet. Probably another phone call, was it?
No, I don't know. It just turned off. But yeah, anyway, so it was a huge shock for us. Yeah.
And did you find it hard to communicate that with customers and staff?
Yeah, it was we had to adapt so quickly, and having so many sites and so many staff to talk to, and everybody messaging in. It was you have to be a human first. Kind of in a situation like this, you have to be a human before you're a boss. So, making sure everyone's okay and caring for people before you care about the bottom line. So for me, it's just trying to be as good a human being to them and treating them like humans and caring about them. And but it's been tough because, you know, a lot of the information, we only get it and then we get the information and 2 days later you have to act on it. So it's been tough kind of having to pivot very quickly. Yeah.
I think that's very admirable what you're saying there. And I think, you know, it's a great stance to take, and looking after people has been pretty important through a time like this. How hard has it been? Because you're pretty up to date and pretty fast with the comms on social media and things like that. I saw one of your posts the other day, had like 200 comments on it. And I'd imagine that's, say, 50-50, like comments to you and then you replying. How do you keep up with all of that?
Oh, I try my best. I need to get better because honestly, the reality is if somebody came and talked to you in real life and made a comment on your business, you would not you would not ignore them. You would reply back straight away, right? So why is it any different on the internet? So for me, it's like actually everybody that comments, you should really be replying because they've cared enough to comment. And I'll be my own worst critic and know that I think I should be hitting that 100% mark. And I don't, because we just have hundreds of comments, hundreds of DMs, which I'm so grateful for. So that's something that I really want to work on this year, is to really be replying to everybody because it's, you know, I'm so grateful. Yeah.
It is pretty hard to manage. We don't have as many followers as you, but you know, it can be quite distracting, can't it? But like you say, it is so important to, especially to build community, and that's something that you've done so well.
Yes.
You have a lot of people that you can just about use their content for your content, right? Because they're posting and tagging you guys and things. I see a lot of your stories are based around what people are doing with your product, and they're doing your marketing for you, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And I guess that is, in times like these, one thing that I have been really grateful for is that social media presence. And, you know, we're in a very scary stage where every business now has to learn to pivot. And we started realizing this a few years back, the importance of social media, which is why all of our advertising, we don't really do conventional advertising. We would only use social media or online sort of comms. So, and that's becoming even more important now, and to kind of engage and like I said before, you should really be engaging with all those people that are commenting on your post, because this is the new era where we have to be talking online.
Yeah. Do you think you could maybe see a time this year or maybe in the future where you let go of some of that as such and get someone to respond to some of those things? Oh, did you catch that?
No, sorry, it kind of cut out.
I know, I was just saying, can you see yourself giving that role to somebody else to do?
I personally, not right now, because to me, the brand is about telling a story. And I'm so passionate about Moustache and cookies and our community that I really would love to tell that story myself. And, you know, everybody has their own story to tell. And I think this is how companies need to start pivoting, is telling their story and bringing a more human, personal aspect, because, and you'll see it online, as there's so many support local kind of ideas now on the internet wanting to support local. And it's because people want to support local people, local stories. And that's why telling that story is more important than ever now.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think a lot of people could learn a lot from that. And yeah, it is about storytelling and just having people know you, right? Like, unless they know who you are or know about you, then how can people expect people to buy from them? So it's going to be interesting to see some of these people that maybe have been like a little bit lazy, dare I say it, in the social media space, struggle to get people to their eateries and to their retail outlets after this.
Yeah, I think there's like a quote that's something like, people don't buy your product, they're buying the why behind your product, or something like that. And I really believe that, like, you know, most people at home can actually make a better burger than we can all make burgers, we can all make cookies actually, but why do you buy from somebody else? A lot of the time is, we're too lazy, but also because, you know, you want to support their vision, their story, and you believe in them and their, and you want to support that. So I think that's a huge part of it. Yeah.
I think it might be Simon Sinek's, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
Yeah. That's much better.
Yeah. Well, you have a very strong why, and it's obviously, you know, you touched on it at the start, but this is obviously very, very important to you, eh?
Yeah. Like, I guess growing up, mum was a solo mother and we didn't have very much money. And so she would always bake for us, and she would wake up at 4 a.m. and bake. And I remember as a child, even though we had so little, waking up to the smell of fresh baking, to me that was happiness, and it also was like showed me love. And so for me, having a cookie, even though it's such a kind of like not an essential item, to me it's something that if you give a cookie to somebody else, it shows love and care, and that's that nostalgia and that childlike nostalgia. And that's why I love cookies, and I'm really passionate about them, because it's like the simple things are good. Yeah.
Well, it seems like you are pretty essential, because you're sold out for the week already. Is that right?
Yeah, we've been really, again, it has been through social media. A lot of people have like just jumped on board as soon as we got back, and I'm really grateful because we did not expect it. Like, I opened up pre-orders and pretty much my whole phone was beeping the whole night, and we had to shut the online store. Like, we had to shut the first week off because we had so many orders, and we are quite a small team, and we do have to now do shift work because we can't all be at work at the same time. So we're kind of working in a different way now. So it's just crazy how I was scared that because we were only doing online, we wouldn't sell. But what's happened is our in-store customers have just transitioned to online, which we're really lucky with. Yeah.
Are you going to try and follow that through as you go, like as we get more back to normal as such, if that's even going to happen? Like, are you going to try and ramp up the online side of things?
Definitely. Yeah. I think, like I said before, every business now needs to pivot towards future proofing for other scenarios like this. And to be honest, even before COVID, I knew that we had to pivot towards online, because online is where it's at anyway. Everybody, you go out on the street, is attached to their phone. Apps and online social media, all that stuff is more important now more than ever. So regardless of COVID, we have to pivot. We have to change to the future, and everybody's buying from their phones nowadays.
Yeah. And I think like a business like yours, you become, when you do the in-person experience as well, you become even more valuable and like attach more excitement and experience for people when they come and do that, because they actually get to meet the person behind the website and behind the Instagram and things like that. So it could see you be, have even more fans.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think for us, like, we will always have retail because, like you said, retail is an experience, and you see behind the scenes and you get to interact. But I guess our bread and butter, it used to be retail, and with online as a subsidiary, now I'm going to pivot to have online will become our bread and butter, and retail will kind of be that experience, that subsidiary experience. Yeah.
Awesome. How much have you used the community to shape like what sort of new cookies you do or get feedback, that sort of thing?
A lot. Again, through social media, we hear everything. So, for example, we have the caramel cookie. We were only meant to do that for like a month, and then we get so many DMs about it that I could not get rid of it. And now it's a permanent staple on our menu. We'll just put it up online permanently. So, the people speak. We always listen to the people. So if they want a product, we will have to adapt to that. So yeah, it's really great, again, having social media to be able to constantly evolve and hear exactly what the consumer wants and act on it quickly.
Brilliant. And you're using Shopify for your website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that, you found that really, really easy? Well, not really easy, but like easy enough?
Yeah, it's easy enough, but I guess every business has their own quirks. So we've had to add a lot of like apps and coding to kind of adapt ours. But it's definitely a good platform for beginners, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. You think anyone could basically pick it up almost in a time like this? Like, it's probably a lot of people, it's their only hope really at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we knew nothing about online when we started, and oh man, you can learn it. I mean, I literally typed in like how to start a business like into Google when I was like a kid. Like you can learn everything off the internet these days. So like if you are motivated, you can easily just take a week to kind of learn about starting a website and get it up and running.
Yeah, it's awesome, mate. We're definitely massive on that, and I've done quite a bit of learning over the last 4 weeks. I'm a little bit geeky, so I've been back into some economic stuff, I'm going to be honest. But I think we're seeing the transition where people are understanding that more and thinking, oh, actually, do our kids need to go to school all week? Do we need to go to university to deliver these or get this sort of education? So I think we're going to see a really big shift in that entire space, eh?
Yeah, definitely. And like, even for myself, like I've learned so many skills in the last 4 weeks, and it just goes to show like you can actually do so much, learn so much just from being inside.
Yeah. I see you were doing a bit of dancing inside on your social media too.
Yeah. I bought like about 6 years ago, I tried to do pole fitness. So I bought this pole and it's in my house, but I never used it. And so the last 4 weeks I've been doing doing some dancing, learning off the internet. I got hula hoops. I've been like doing hula hoop at home. So yeah.
Oh, it's pretty impressive. I was sitting there like, wow, is this legit? I'm pretty sure this is legit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. I do. Yeah, everyone was like, "Why do you have a pole in your house?"
I don't know about that. Just watch it.
Yeah, I know. Don't question it.
Yeah. Have you found that you've had like more time? Do you think during this COVID lockdown period?
Yes and no. Like I said, I focus more on online. So we've had so many more like online interactions. And I guess in the last week with the online store running, there's a lot of coding that we've had to do in the background. There's a lot of like just general things to do with the online store and admin surrounding that. I've actually been quite busy. So yeah, I mean, it's just basically moving my whole retail onto online, and now it's just replaced that. So I'm still just as busy.
I think like a lot of people would be inspired by following your business journey. I'm sure you've seen a bit of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest and say like I'm not the best with actually building a business. That is kind of why I came to you guys actually, because for advice on the more business stuff. I'm not actually very I'm not a book smart person. I think a lot of people kind of connect to my story because I'm quite honest on my social media and I share quite personal things. And I think that is, like I said before, it's increasingly important to kind of be able to connect to customers and to be real. And I think people kind of know when you're just trying to sell to people and get money out of them. I'm trying to make my business more about a community and about a passion and a love for cookies, and to bring people who are similar together and kind of not really focusing on the bottom line, because I kind of believe that if I truly love something and passionate and work in it to improve, the money will follow later. Yeah.
You got to fill the emotional bank account at the same time, right?
Yeah, because otherwise, running a business is hard, and if you're not emotionally, if your emotional bank account is empty, then it's really difficult in times like this when you've really got to push through.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. I was going to say, do you think like a lot of people that maybe watch you come across you on social media and think, oh, that's pretty easy, just selling some cookies, like, oh yeah, like they don't appreciate how much patience and time and those small factors end up leading to the big continued growth. They don't understand that.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I think that's true, but again, because of social media, I think our generation is actually becoming a very conscious generation. And I think the more that we use social media to share our stories and share the behind the scenes of a business, I'm actually finding a lot of my customers, they are so understanding and kind. And, you know, during lockdown, we actually had a lot of customers email me or DM me just saying, hey, look, we want to support you. How can we support you? And again, that was cultivated just through social media and online. So that, again, shows the importance of it, that when I'm shut, people are still online messaging me trying to help.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a massive testament to that community. How did you ever have like any downs throughout this and just trying to keep yourself positive because there's so much uncertainty?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure, like especially at the beginning when there wasn't much information, I was actually quite, as a lot of other small businesses, quite worried. You know, you don't know how long it's going to go on for. We don't know if we can pivot and how can we pivot. But I guess for me, I just remembered that health must come first. And I think the way that our government has run it is health focused. And I kind of remind myself, I always say memento mori, which is Latin for remember you will die. And I know that sounds really morbid, and especially in this climate, but it's a reminder that everything doesn't last. And so I know this is a hard time for a lot of small businesses, but this time will pass. And when there's good times, to be happy and take joy in that. So I guess when I get down, I try to remind myself that like life is not forever, like, you know, things are not forever and we will get through it, and we just have to keep going and keep being our best, and we'll come out the other side. And yeah, just to kind of stay positive. Yeah.
No, bloody brilliant. I think a lot of people need to hear that and remember that, you know, because it's easy to start to forget those things that can seem so basic, right?
Yeah. I think I am trying to take the business back to a basic level, just basically. It really is using social media to share your heart, share your story. That will in turn have people follow your story. And then I'm just like, hey, let's have a simple business model. Let's not be like, have all these retail outlets and all that sort of thing. Like have an online store, and have, you know, we're kind of expanding to a little bit of supermarket products as well to kind of diversify our product line. So we're just trying to be creative in our product and how we can survive if this happens again, you know.
And if you ventured into the alcohol market as well, is that a rumor going around?
It was a rumor that we've got a beer, a cookies and cream ale beer with our friend's Garage Project, and they're selling that on their web store. And that's, yeah, it was delicious. It's very yum.
People can still buy that?
Yeah, on the Garage Project website, because we don't have a liquor license, but they do. Yeah.
You're mixing it with cookies, I see.
Yeah. I made like a beer can out of cookies, and then I poured the beer inside and drank it, and that was, it was. I highly recommend it.
That's it. What advice would you have for someone that's younger, that's probably, you know, done the same thing as you and gone, right, I'm not too sure about this uni thing. I just want to go back to basics and do something that I really care about, because that's what everyone romanticizes about, and it's what we kind of like all watch YouTube about, thinking we just find this miracle thing that we all love, and then life just gets pretty easy from there. But what advice would you give to young people that want to go down that path?
I think my advice is to try something, anything, because there's actually a misconception that because I had this on my bucket list since I was 8 years old. When I grew up, I actually didn't know what I wanted to do. So I actually originally, before Moustache, I wanted to open a juice shop because I loved making juice. So I actually wanted to do a juice shop, and then I also wanted to do journalism, and then third was actually the cookie idea. And I went and studied journalism, and I went and worked in some newsrooms, and I actually didn't like it. It didn't fit with me at all. And then after that, I actually had a juice stall at the La Cigale French markets, and I went and did that, and I tried that, and that didn't really speak to my heart as much as I hoped it would. And then I tried Moustache, so I think what a lot of young people do is that they have option A, B, and C, and then they're like, I don't know what to do. So then they kind of do nothing. And then a year later, I'm like, oh, what did you do? And they're like, oh, I actually didn't do anything. I'm still at the same place as I was a year ago. And I'm like, if you did A and it was wrong, you would know by now. Or if you did B, it doesn't matter if it was the wrong option, you would still figure it out, right? And that's what happened to me. I did option A, I did option B, figured that I didn't want to do them, and then I landed on option C, Moustache, and now I'm still doing Moustache. So I think what happens with young people is they get crippled into failing something, and they don't do anything. Whereas for me, it's like, I don't know that Moustache was my passion. I only knew because I failed at 2 other things, and then on the 3rd try, I found Moustache. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think maybe we need to sub the word failure out for some of these people that think like that, and almost just trying is just, just try shit, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's why I say failure like this, because I don't even view them as failures. I view them as such actually really great life lessons that I don't regret at all, because I know now. I know that I love Moustache and this is what I meant to do.
Yeah, and I think it sounds like you love serving people as well, don't you? Like, I feel like you could probably just talk to people all day and talk to them about cookies and actually not actually sell any cookies, but just have fun with it.
I'll just be eating cookies with them. Like, I am nuts about cookies. Like, I love it. So it's easy to just, I don't have to sell because I'm just so passionate about it already.
That sells for you. So for those that have never ordered one of your cookies, you can do that online. They'll get distributed nationwide once you can again. What should people get? What do you reckon? What's the go-to cookie?
Oh, I love the party pie. It's basically 11 of our Moustache cookies in like one pie. So I love that because you can get a little bit of all the flavors and you can share it around with family and friends. Oh, your bubble. You can share it with your bubble, and that's really fun. Otherwise, if you want something smaller, I'm actually obsessed with the caramel cookie pie because I love caramel. I actually don't like caramel. I don't like caramel, the chocolate bar, but our cookie, it's different. It's really delicious, and I'm really addicted to it. So I would recommend the caramel with the party pie. Yeah.
Well, last time I was on the website, I got this T-shirt or this shirt, but next time I think I'm going to have to try the caramel. Are there any of these tops left? Because I can see someone saying that top with the love heart emoji on. So.
Oh, really? Yeah, you can. The tops are still online. I think most of the sizes are still up, so you can get one of those. Yeah.
I've definitely copped a lot of flack for wearing this, but I'm campaigning it for you. I love it. I think it's a great top.
Thanks, Luke. Yeah, you look great. You need to be our next ambassador.
No worries. All right, a couple of things to finish. Has this whole COVID situation, has it made you think about anything apart from like pivoting and stuff? Has it made you think or realize you need to do things any differently that you maybe otherwise wouldn't have thought about?
Yeah, I guess it was just, I think the way that we were moving, like the way that we're moving now, actually, I have thought about already. I kind of anticipated not something like this would happen, but I did anticipate that the world is moving towards this model. So I guess I have been thinking about how can I diversify my product to cope with situations like this, or so that we didn't put all our eggs in one basket. So I guess it's just made me further think, like, should I just rely on retail? And the answer is no, actually. And that's why I'm thinking, it is great to have maybe something in the supermarkets. And that's why we're about to launch a vegan cookie dough that can go into the supermarkets as well. So I guess it's just getting me to be creative, and also, and how we distribute our product, and also being creative online. And I think for me, I just thinking of online as more of a fun space and try not to be so serious about it, which is why I posted that dancing video, or I post these silly behind the scenes things. I'm just trying to make life and business and cookies fun, Yeah.
I wonder if you could make a giant moustache cookie competition where basically you get everyone to follow making a recipe that you come up with, or maybe you get them to suggest a new flavor, and then whatever gets ordered the most in a month or something gets added. I think you might have done something like that previously, yeah?
Yeah, we have. We've done something like that before, but we definitely want to be more engaging the community on those sort of things. So we'll definitely start doing more of that. Yeah.
Cool. Well, my final question was going to be what's next, but I think it sounds like that's it really. Head more towards the online space and just stay creative and keep building that community, right?
Yeah, I think I'm just this year my goal was actually to just really become more with the community. And I know I've already said that, but I really love what I do. I love my customers. I love cookies. So I just want to engage and have fun and make this more of a human experience. And I think that's what we've all should have learned from COVID, is that actually life is a lot about human to human interaction and being humans to each other. So yeah, I guess what's next is just being more human and sharing the love and sharing, happiness with each other, whether that's in the form of a cookie or just a piece of your heart, and telling people that you're there for them, or yeah.
I think a lot of businesses could follow you on social media and actually learn A, a shitload, but B, how to actually do that, because it is very hard to be genuine and be authentic. As much as we're told that that's what we're supposed to do and it's a great thing to do, it's still very, very hard for people to do, right? So you've obviously got to the point where you don't really care what people think anymore, or you just understand that that people's thoughts don't matter, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is people need to take that part of their brain away where they really care about how people view them. And that's when you're going to start getting more genuine content, because I mean, really, on a business page, you shouldn't really be posting a video of you on a pole in your house. It's a very strange thing to be posting, right? But I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, it's my page. I want to just have fun, and it doesn't have to always be a very strict business page. We have to get out of that mentality where we have to be professional and perfect all the time on Instagram, because honestly, the posts that get the most engagement on my page are always mistakes I've made or weird things I've done. It's always, one time I accidentally made a barbecue hot chocolate because I bought the wrong chili powder. I was meant to make chili hot chocolate, and that barbecue hot chocolate I put on the internet, and everybody went nuts for it and wanted to have this barbecue hot chocolate. So all those mistakes, failures, they are the best. That's the best content, actually. So just be real. Yeah.
Do you use Instagram Live much?
No, I don't, because I get scared actually about being live.
No, you have to. This is now my challenge to you. What is I would love to say you have to do it by the end of April, but honestly, your community your following will go bonkers for a bit of one-on-one time with you, or just be able to ask you any questions and things like that. I reckon if you post and said you were going to go live as well, you would have so many people that would want to chat to you. Can we make it a challenge that you do it?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, maybe. It's funny because I just talked about all that social media thing, but now I'm my heart's beating. You've just put me on the challenge. Okay, I'll try. I hate live because it gives me anxiety thinking about what if I said something wrong? And it's all live. But yeah, you're right. I should really, because I've just talked about not caring and to not curate yourself. So I should really be doing live.
really set you up there, didn't I? Right,
You set me up.
I'm going to make a note, and I want to get a notification saying that the Moustache is now live. I'll be stoked.
Okay.
I think it'll unlock another level for you. I think it'll be awesome.
All right. That's next for me then.
There we go. What's next? The live content. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I've got a lot out of that. I think a lot of people listening will turn this into a podcast as well for those that couldn't tune into the video.
Cool.
Thank you again, and look after yourself. All the best for this mad rush that you're about to see, and we're seeing more and more of your progress.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys have been great accountants. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, you'll see a lot more of me.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
All right. Bye.
Stop that there.